far. It's so far.
Okay, Thickness. I see you.
I was like, who you talking to? Me or Brandon? Because we both think.
Anyways, today we're gathered here.
Together, we're gathered. You know we're going to lose an hour today, too.
What do you mean, like it's going forward?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tonight. Watch, at midnight, it's going to be 1.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Brandon Lord, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing You mess up one word and you get ridiculed. Today I'm joined here by an okay friend. I was gonna say good friend. I'm joined here by my good friend Magdala. Everybody say hello. I've been friends with Magdala for a while now.
It's been a minute.
It has.
Like 10 years, I think.
Too long. Oh my god, has
Almost,
it?
yeah.
Wait, it has, because it was 2012.
2012 summer. So it's 9. It's about to be 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then in a year, it'll be.
So almost 9 years, not almost 10, so you lied.
Yeah, I lied. I mean, 9 is almost 10.
You haven't been on my channel, like, ever.
No, this is my first time. I almost choked. I have not been on your channel yet, Brandon.
You haven't.
It's my first time, and I'm so happy to be here.
Are you?
Your channel could be blessed with my presence.
I want you.
But if I'm just too
more.
much, if I just do too much.
I don't think you do enough. Maggie and I have been friends for quite a while now. How did we meet? Let's get into
Okay,
that.
let me tell you the story because Brandon didn't meet me. I met him.
First of all, let me start this off by saying, actually, that we met because we were both accounting majors in college. Go.
Do you think so?
Now, you can get into your story about how we met.
Okay.
Your story.
So, both me and Brandon were summer students our first semester of college.
Mm-hmm.
And so we both were registered for the same exact classes because you don't register yourself. So we both just so happened to be in the same 2 classes. One stupid science class and one stupid film class.
History of life.
History of life was the worst.
It was.
The man was like, your purpose in life is to find the best person to mate with and procreate.
That's
like
what
that
he
was
said.
it. Yeah, you don't remember?
I don't be paying attention.
It was a terrible class. Me, this other boy, and then 2 girls would sit in front of us, and we would all talk. And Brandon always sat next to me. And so we all kind of had these assigned seats that we would do every week. Brandon is shy, if you don't know. If you meet him out of the blue, he's going to be like, I might just stay quiet.
I have a stutter?
The 4 of us would crack jokes, and Brandon would like giggle and stuff, and I would see him in the corner like laughing and participating, but he would never say anything.
Didn't have much to say.
I'm the comedian of the group, and so I was just always
Self-proclaimed.
I was always just making jokes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we went to that class like 3 times a week, twice a week. It was pretty frequent.
It was 3 times. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So I think by like the 3rd week, 2nd or 3rd week, probably the 2nd week, he sat down next to me. Before class started, I was there early for a change. He was playing this game called Words with Friends. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I play Words with Friends. And then we started talking and then I was like, oh, you're in this class. You're in my other class.
It was
film. It was film.
Studies.
Intro to film studies.
Intro to film studies.
And so we got to talking and we were like, okay, let's study together. And the rest is history. We became friends.
We've been inseparable ever since.
But we started taking things together because I was an accounting major and he was an accounting major. So I was like, oh, let's take classes together. And that's how we met.
Mm-hmm. And then, so what made you choose to be an accounting major? Like, when you were picking your major for college, what made you stick with, in the beginning, accounting?
I chose accounting because I wanted to make money. Period. That was it. That was the reason. I was like, which of these things will make me some money? And I was like, this one makes money. And I didn't mind numbers. Like, I really like math. And so I didn't think accounting.
Were you good at math in high school?
Yeah, I was pretty good at math. Math was my favorite subject because I'm a perfectionist and I feel like math is like the only subject you can do right all the time.
You know, we both started out as accounting majors. And I'm like, wow, I made a good friend. Like, I found a good friend in accounting. Like, we can take all our classes together and like, this is so great. Dramatic. Maybe we could even be like co-workers. Like, who knows? Like, the future is like unlimited. Until one day, we had principles of financial accounting together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Maggie, like, we're accounting, and like, this is the thing we have to look into. These are like some accounting classes, and like, after we get these classes, we have to do these classes. I was a nerd in college. I was like, I need to know what classes are you taking. And Maggie was just like, I'm actually not an accounting major anymore.
And Brennan was so upset.
I'm sad.
You were. It makes sense, because I'm great. Who wouldn't want to be in the same field as me?
That was a twist. Well, I think also I was probably second guessing it. And so I was like, oh, cool, I have a friend.
Oh, you did second guess it for a bit.
Oh, for like the whole time.
No way!
I second guess everything though, to be fair. What made you switch and like not do accounting? Because I believe you switched from accounting to finance.
I changed to finance, and then I changed back to accounting, and then I changed to management, and I stuck with management.
So what made you switch?
I knew I wanted to stay in business because I'm not, like, I knew that the business field was right for me. I liked what business was about. Really, my second semester, I was kind of having an existential crisis. Like, what do I want to do? What makes me happy? And why am I doing accounting? Like, why am I doing these things? Because making money is great, but like, what's actually going to make me happy at the end of the day? I was really trying to ask myself, does this field make me happy? And at the time, I couldn't say yes to that question, so I had to change. Because like,
switch it up.
And I just wanted to like do a job that I enjoyed and not just do a job because it could make me some money, you know?
I feel that.
So what made you question it?
I questioned it a million times. Not a million, but a few. Similar reasons, like why am I doing it? Like questioning myself in that way. And then just thinking about, is this what I actually want to do for the rest of my life? And I remember when I really questioned it was it was like when I got into the actual classes for the major accounting, because the financial accounting, that was just like a business prerequisite. So like if you had a business like major, you had to take that class. So that was like nothing. And I actually liked that class. So I was like, oh no, accounting's great. But then when I got into, I think it was intermediate accounting, I was like,
that class is insane.
I did well, but in the beginning, I was just like, I wasn't that interested in it, I guess. So then I was just like questioning myself in that way. And then I was just like, I remember reading the textbook and being like, I'm not into this and I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Like picking a degree is hard and then you have to like stick with it. And then it's like, crazy. You want to set yourself up at least for something good to do. And my mentality also was like with accounting, like it's good to have regardless. I think you can do other business related things with an accounting degree. So I'm like, if I really don't like accounting, I can like do something else. Yeah, I definitely questioned it. So if I would have switched, I probably would have stuck with the business field. But also part of me thinks I would have stuck with something more creative or like switched to something more creative.
I could definitely see that.
Because I remember I was considering advertising at one point.
Oh, really?
Something like that. But then I didn't do it.
I could definitely see you there.
You can?
Yeah. Well, look at how you promote your channel and all your stuff.
Well, you know, it's good.
You're very creative.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
So you switched to management.
I did.
And you got your management degree.
I did.
So what are you doing now? Because
I'm all over the world.
You are all over the world.
After I changed to management, I started volunteering with this organization that did like support groups for survivors of domestic violence. And I started that group and I really loved it. And then that kind of made me want to take a switch. So at first I was like, well, I could just use my management degree to go into these fields and work with nonprofits. But then I was like talking to somebody and they were just like, you know, my biggest regret is that I didn't stay in school, that I didn't try to go to get another degree. So I was like, let me just try. So I applied for like the master's in social work program and I got in. And so I was like, okay, I'll just do that. I got my social work degree, worked at a university running violence prevention programs for a year and a half. And it was great, but I worked for a nonprofit and I was broke. Which was not fun, living check to check. And then as soon as I started working full time, all of these expenses came up. I had to buy a car, I had to do all these things. So I was like, this is not sustainable. So my alma mater heard that I was working at another university running programs, and so they had a position open for another programming position, and so they invited me back, and I interviewed and I got the job. So what I do now is I'm an academic advisor, but I run programming for a specific group of students. So I put together professional development events, personal development. It's for business students, so we do company tours, a lot of different events that are meant to like prepare students for a future in business. I'm going on to my third year. It's kind of crazy. It's been great so far. And then it kind of sparked another passion. So while I was working at the nonprofit, I was the only person of color in my office. And so that was a really big shift from like my university, which is super diverse. Well, when I was working at that company, being the only person of color in my office kind of got my gears thinking like about different things that could help people feel comfortable at work. And so, you know, in social work, we talked a lot about that. And I think all of my degrees really relate to each other. But I wanted to do research on programming, diversity and inclusion programming, what really makes people feel comfortable at work, and what companies can do to make sure that happens. Because when an employee doesn't feel comfortable, they're going to quit. And they're going to lose people and lose money, right? You're better off keeping people for a longer time so that you have a sustainable team and you don't have to keep trying to hire other people. I'm doing research there now, so I applied for a doctoral program in applied anthropology, so I'm doing that now.
That's good though, that like you had all these passions and that you noticed something that you had to deal with in your work environment, and now you're working towards kind of making that better and like creating change within that.
Oh yeah, you know, I'm just a change maker and whatever. I think it's a really needed thing. Anybody who I tell like this idea to, they're always like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And so all my research is going to focus on that. And thankfully, because I work at a university, I get my tuition covered, which is part of the motivation to get another degree, or else I would just try to make it work with what I have right now. A lot of my students study accounting, so I kind of get to see the field from different sides. Like, I wonder, you know, if I changed my mind, if I would, I don't know.
Well, that leads to my final question to wrap this up. Do you regret changing your major and leaving accounting?
No. But I think that either path could have led me back here. Like, accounting is a great field, but I have a lot of friends who are accountants, and Brandon's the only person I know who actually like doesn't hate work on a regular basis.
Who hates it?
Everybody who works in public accounting.
Oh, well, I talked about that in my most recent accounting video, private versus public. So.
Right. Even former students, talking to them about their jobs, and they are just like overwhelmed all the time. Busy season is like, maybe you get to work at 5 a.m. and you go home at midnight. Like, busy season is crazy in public accounting.
Doubt.
Like, thinking of myself, if somebody said, you want to shoot for a Big Four accounting firm, I would have done it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have thought about all of those things, and then I would have been miserable. Because I already struggle with the work-life balance right now. I can't imagine how they do it. And it sucks too, because you're a salaried employee. If they ask you to work, I don't know, a crazy amount of hours, you don't get overtime. So you're getting paid, but you really should be getting paid more, even though accountants get paid pretty well.
Yeah. Well, that's
so
what
there's
I
a lot.
think. Yeah, that's what I think kind of led me to, like, since I wasn't sure about accounting, or maybe I had second thoughts, I was like, well, I don't want to really get into public accounting because that's a big commitment and that's like a lot.
Yeah.
I think with private, getting into that is probably why I have more likes than your other friends, because it's not as crazy. It's more of a typical business, like office job.
Right. I've never heard Brandon complain about going to work. All of my other friends complain about going to work with reason. And a few of them have shifted to smaller companies and they haven't complained since. But
so that was good, Maggie. That's good.
Wait, I have to ask you.
Oh.
So if you could go back and change your mind, would you still pick accounting? Like, knowing what you know now, would you choose something more creative, advertising, marketing, something, or would you stick with accounting?
For that answer, I'd have to say that's for another video.
All right. A little cliffhanger there.
That's a good question, though. What do you think this is? This is not the Meghan Markle sit down. Don't try me like
Me
this.
and Brandon never have serious conversations, so it's nice to see you sweat for a change.
Well, I'm sweating because of these lights, to be fair.
It's bright in here. Shout out to Astra Kylie Dunbar for providing the setup for this wonderful venue here. These bright lights.
With that being said, thank you, Maggie, for sharing your story.
It's my pleasure.
Getting into it, and you know.
I'd love to come back and talk about other things. I've got plenty to talk about.
I'm down to have you on.
I should hack your channel one day. Stay tuned, fam.
I don't know about that. I'm glad that you're doing something that you're passionate about and that leaving accounting was actually a good decision for you. And you don't regret it.
Yeah. And let me just end with this, because I know people will probably come here who are on the fence about their career fields. And honestly, so many paths can lead you to different directions. Just because you major in something doesn't mean you can't work in another field. Every job that you get, even, you know, doing experiences on campus, if you're like a student right now and you're getting experience on a team, those things give you experience in other areas.
Experience is good because it also helps you build like other just like basic working skills like communication, teamwork, stuff like that too.
Right.
With that being said, thank you for filming with me.
You're welcome.
I'm looking forward to filming more with you, of course.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!
I can make you put your phone down.
Is that a song?
Yeah. I can make you put your phone down.
I love it.
Just welcome to Magdala. Hello, I'm Magdala. Welcome to myself.